about that. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to create a conversion tracking using Google Ads and Google Tag Manager. So I'm going to use this website as an example. So let's say I'm going to actually create or launch a search ads campaign, and I wanted to measure some actions here. So let's find a product here. It doesn't matter, just want to show you what I'm actually want to create conversion for. So as you can see, there is a request code here, or add to code call to action. So I want to be able to measure how many people actually filled up the form for request the code or add to code call to action. So I'll head back to Google Ads and I'll click on conversion. Then I'll go to new conversion action. So you can create tracking action for website, apps, phone calls, and you can even import from Google Analytics, Salesforce, and etc. So I'll click on website. I'll paste the website I'm just visited, and as you will see, Google Ads recently added 2 sections for conversion. So this section I'll cover later, but the one that I'm going to explain first is the manual conversion tracking. So I'll click on this add a conversion action manually, choose from the list. So in this case, I'm looking for request codes. Let's call it request code number 10. Next section, I have to actually put a value on each request code. So I don't really have any value, so I'll choose don't use a value for this conversion action. But if it's a purchase or anyhow you have the number for that, you can create, I don't know, like 10, 20 or anything, but I don't have it, so don't use it. Next, you have to decide on you want to measure every request form or once per user. Let's see how do I mean. So for example, me as a user, for example, I want to, I don't know, add to go for this product. So I'll click on it. It will count once, and I also like maybe this table too. So I will request to code for this product too. So it will be 2 times. If you choose this option, the conversion tracking will measure 2 times. But if you use this option, it will only actually measure 1 time, because it will create once per user. This option really useful for purchases, because you don't really care how many times a user is purchasing from you. You want to create every time he purchases. But for example, for sign up, you have to choose this option, because it doesn't really make sense to have every time, because the sign up is a one-time action, and that's why you have to choose this option. But in this situation, for this website, I want to measure every action. Next, let's check out the interaction date and the time of conversion. For example, if your user interacting with your ads today and they don't really convert and they don't really buy anything or purchase anything, if they purchase within 30 days, it will count as the conversion for this ad. So this date shows that time frame. Next, it's the same thing but for video. So you want to measure how many days after a user watched a video actually makes sense for you to measure it as a conversion. So I don't really want to change this. And the next one is a view through conversion window. View through means the user sees your ad, they don't interact with it, they just see it. And how many days after that, if they convert, it makes sense for you to measure it as a conversion for this campaign. So these are the options, and I will leave it that way. One is quite tricky. if you don't have any idea about attribution model, I'll recommend to you to read more about it. But we have 6 attribution models, so I will choose maybe last click. But let's talk about it. If you choose the last click, it means it will only measure the last media that user came from. If you choose the first click, it will actually measure the first media that user interact with it. So there are different options here, but usually even Google Analytics default attribution model is last click too. But if you click the data-driven version, it's actually will be kind of automatic, because it will use your account conversion data to calculate the actual contribution of each ad interaction across conversion paths. So I don't want to really use that. So it depends on your website, your product, your services, your media. So I'll leave it to you. You can check out later for yourself. So I will use last click and done. So we already created the conversion tracking here, but the next step is to activate it. Continue, you will see this 3 option. Maybe you can copy the HTML script or code and put it on your website. You can email it for your webmaster, and you can use Google Tag Manager, which I'm gonna show you how to use it. So let's go to Google Tag Manager and add a new tag. Click on it. You can click on Google Ads conversion tracking. When you click on it, it will tell you conversion linker tag missing in the container. So we can click on it to create. I'll choose the first option, enable linking on all page URLs, and don't forget to name it conversion linker tag. Save. And all right, so let's click and copy the conversion ID here. This is the conversion ID. Then we have the conversion label here and conversion label, and you don't really need to fill up the rest of the options. All right, so next thing is to create a trigger. So in this actual situation, we have a form which its call to action text is add to code, and we can check out maybe on the form ID, class, or anything else. But since I really want to measure every call to action that is called add to code, I can simply just use its call to action text. So I'll come back here, click on plus, click on here, and form submission, some forms, and maybe click text. Or if you don't want to really risk on that, you can just click on the button here. Let's find it. All right, yeah, there it is. Click copy, Control C, and Control V. So I will name it form submission code trigger. Sorry. All right, so everything is set, and Google Ads conversion tracking tag. Whoa, what's happened here? All right, so that's all, guys. It was really easy. So it's done here. You can just click on done. You already set up everything, and let's find it here. Yep, request code number 10. And so we already created here and used the tag manager to create the tag here. Before creating the tag, we use Google conversion linker tag to actually tracks conversion, and we use form submission, form click text to actually track the form. If you have any question, please comment it below the video, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe in my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot for your attention.